Hello and welcome to the channel. And today we are going to check out a few customs that I've done from the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line. And as you can see, it's a complete lineup of Batmans, which is Todd's specialty. So going from left to right, so the two figures on the left are the new, well, the most recently released versions of the Year 2 Batman in the collector's editions. And then the one in the middle here on the right, this is the in the No Man's Land. And then on the far right, we have the Spawn Batman single release. Let's talk about the figures on the right, and because those are the ones that I only did some um, quick kit bashing. Hope they cooperate and they don't fall over. Okay. So basically, what I did on these guys is I just swapped parts. I swapped the trunks and the feet. Talking about the colors aren't really a 100% match. Although looking through the camera, you couldn't even really tell that there are a color difference. But once you get a bit closer to the figures, you will be able to tell there's a slight difference. Mainly on the feet. So now, why did I switch out the feet? The feet that are currently on the No Man's Land, which is based off of the Nightfall buck, are actually a little bit bigger and longer mainly than the feet that come on the Spawn Batman single release, which uses the Hush / Three Jokers buck. So those feet originally came and are a little smaller. And when I did the swap, now the joint is a little looser going from this feet to the other feet, so I just need to tighten that up. But here you can see just by how much extra the let me get these out of the way. Okay, now you can see how just by how much the Nightfall feet are bigger than the Hush feet. It's just a bit of the front of the toe, right? But still, they are bigger. So since the Hush mold is so much bigger in scale than the Nightfall, which is the Nightfall buck, I decided to make the swap of the feet since it will be a little bit more in scale with each other. Now, the reason for swapping the trunks, mainly because I prefer this buck with the belt, with the capsule belt, even though the Spawn Batman, that Batman at the time still had the capsule belt and not the pouch belt. I could probably find an extra belt somewhere that I can swap out later for a capsule belt for swap out this the pouch belt. But at the same time, it's a different look for a Batman. I don't have many Batmans with the pouch belt. Um, so it's just a different look. And obviously you can see I still need to repaint the yellows, since this yellow, you can see it's the bright yellow, which matches the belt, which is the darker yellow that matches this yellow on the Spawn Batman. And as far as the blues, like I said, you can get a better look of the blue, of the color difference here. You can see, if the camera picks it up, I believe so, the upper part of the boot versus the feet, and the color difference. Yeah, I think you can tell right there. So this is a little lighter, this is a little darker. I don't think I'm going to repaint it, but if it's something that I catch one day, and it's one of those days where I'm like, you know what, it bothers me, I may have to repaint the parts. But like I said, the trunks in particular don't really look that much different, so I probably won't touch that. So only just the feet. Um, the other thing that I did on the Spawn Batman, yeah, we can move this guy out of the way, is I cut off the sides of the cape. Um, the cape has got some huge chunks flaring out that I have here to show you, which prohibited possibility of the arms mainly. Um, See, these are the chunks that I removed from of the cape, which would get in the way of the possibility of the arms, mainly because of the flares on the gauntlet, and also obviously you couldn't pose them or move the shoulders up and out and about, like this, so you couldn't really pose the figure, because also, like I said, the blades would hit the plastic on the side and it would get in the way, right? So I decided to just chop off the sides. I'm going to swap out for a completely cloth cape in the future anyway. But in the meantime, this is a quick fix if it's something that bothers you. As far as the figure, how it if you have it and it bothers you, how you can really post the figure around. But my plan is to simply just chop off keep the shoulder parts with the shoulder spikes, and just cut off the plastic around here, and have the fabric drape from underneath and out, and flare it out and go all the way to the front. And also, part of the reason that I swapped out the trunks is the trunks on the Nightfall are a little shorter, which help with the possibility of the legs on this figure as well. Whereas before you couldn't really raise the legs up in almost in a 90-degree angle. Now I can, and it doesn't really hamper the No Man's Land, because the plastic on this is a little it's a little less stiff, and he has no problem getting the 90 degrees on the leg lift. So it's a win-win all around. All right. And now on to the year 2 figures. I finished this custom over a month ago, and this one about 2 months ago. But what's happened in the meantime, again, okay. But what's happened in the meantime is that this guy's gone through some battles, And you can see right there at the boot, there's a spot of paint missing. So we got some paint chipping there. We got some paint chipping up on by the shoulders. I think I threw a box, an empty box, and it landed close to where I had the figure, and the figure took a dive, and it just landed and the paint chipped off. So I need to retouch it. But basically, the idea is that so these are the actual different versions of the collector's edition. So this is the release that came with the black and gray with the blue highlights, and this is the one that came in blue and gray with the black highlights. But the reason that I did this repaint was for the blue specifically, and a little bit on the gray. I have the trading card here, right, that comes with the figure or figures, and you can see now the blue. Originally, I have the cape right here for the one on the right. So this is the original cape that came with this guy, and you can see that the blue is a much darker blue in comparison to the blue that is on the trading card, which is, also the source material, right? So you can see how much lighter this blue is in comparison to this one. And now the blue matches a little bit better on the figure. The gray is almost the same gray as on the standard gray of the figure. But I did go a shade lighter, although it's not a 100% match to the source. You can see that the gray on the trading card is still a little more lighter, but that's okay. To me, what's more important is the blue rather than the gray. Although a darker gray would, like something like this, would have required a full repaint, right? So that's why I'm fine with this gray color as a base. And now, as opposed to the one on the right, I'm sorry, the one on the left. Now that figure has a more involved is a more involved custom than the one on the right. Even though this was a full repaint, this one is a partial repaint, but also it has a head swap. So the head I took from one of the Nightfall figures. I have like 3 or 4 of those, so I got one. I used one of them to, make a head swap. Originally, you wouldn't be able to do that on the original Nightfall. I'm sorry, on the original Year 2 release, since Todd had the single head and neck combination on that one. But on this release, he fixed that and he made it so that the neck and the head are separate. So that's another difference from this and the original release that came with the huge cape and the graveyard background with the cemetery. I'm sorry, and all of that background. You know the one. But anyway, so I'm glad I wasn't able to get that one at release, and at the time prices were skyrocketing, and I said, well, I might as well make my own customs, and I did make my own custom Year 2 a while ago that I showed a few years ago. But now that he released and made a new Year 2 in the collector's edition, I knew I had to get them. So that's one of the updates that he did on the figure, making the head and the neck separate pieces. And of course, the head for the Nightfall. Let me just adjust the camera here. Okay, so now you can tell the difference between the two heads. the head size, even though the Nightfall figure, which we just saw with the No Man's Land, is a little shorter compared to the Year Two slash Hush slash Three Jokers buck, which this uses. But the head itself isn't that much of a different in terms of overall size. This looks bigger because he's got the jaw with the gritting teeth, so the jaw is slightly lower, so it looks bigger. But in actuality, the width and the size from like the head and the nose, the dimensions are pretty much the same. It just looks a little longer because he's got the gritting teeth expression, so the jaw is sitting a little lower. And of course, all I did on this guy is I had to mold the longer ears, so I just used epoxy to do that. Um, I just got it close to where I needed it in terms of like shape. With my rotary tool, I was able to just grind and into shape the ears, which are pretty close in height to the normal stock head. Um, the other thing that I did on this figure, and you can tell, the forearms are different. I also used the forearms from a Nightfall figure, so the forearms are a little bit smaller in terms of sculpt, width, not so much in length. But here around the meat by the joint, this one is a little more beefier than compared to the Nightfall. But in terms of like transitioning and looking at it from like a normal distance and all of that, you couldn't really even tell in terms of like the sculpt that the forearms look too egregious enough to like say, oh, it looks ugly, or it looks out of whack, out of proportion. The main reason that I went with the Nightfall forearms is because of the position of the forearm, the flares, the spikes on the gauntlet. These ones go straight through. I'm sorry, these go straight down on the forearm, right? As opposed to the standard sculpt that go outside, flare outside, right? So again, it's just like a little aesthetic change, and to separate one figure from the other, so that even though they're both supposedly the same figure, represent the same phase of Batman, the Year Two Batman, they're still different enough that you can make the distinction from one or the other. And I also kept the blue highlights that came originally on the blue and gray. I'm sorry, the black and gray Year Two. I decided to keep the highlights again, just to have it be a little different than the other black and gray Batmans that I have. If you don't like the blue highlights, you can just easily remove it or paint over it, your choice. But for my collection, I just thought it would be a cool little detail to add and keep different from all the others in my collection. So there you go. Here's just a quick look at what I've been working on a ton of stuff while I haven't posted, my normal full form videos on the channel. I have been posting some shorts that I've been doing off of the new Knock Knock app, which helps to animate your action figures. So I've been trying to mess with that and see how I can implement that into my videos. Making some cool intros and all of that, but I'm still trying to figure it out. So this video will probably don't have an intro where I use it, right? But yeah, I've been messing with that for a bit. Still haven't quite figured it out, but Little by little, I'm trying to get a hang of it. If you don't have the app and you collect action figures, I recommend you get it just to fool around. Uh, you know, it is easy to use, but also if you want to get the right specific um, motions and all of that, you gotta be real specific, and it takes some work to know how to work up a good prompt for the app to understand what it is that you want. Out of all of the 3D AI applications that I've used or messed around, that one is probably the easiest one to work with. Although for the free, if you get the free version or use the free version like I do, you only have like a set number of seconds to create an animation. So for the ones that I posted on the shorts, they're all like 5 6 seconds, which is just simple motions for the figures to walk around and all of that. But for more complex animations, uh, I I haven't tried that feature yet, so I don't know what the time limit is on that. But anyway, it's a fun little app if you collect. Um, it doesn't have to be action figures. Anything that you collect, you can try and animate on that thing. But anyway, that's what I've been, so I've been messing with that a little bit. I do have a ton of figures that I collected, for the past couple of months that I haven't posted a full form video. I believe the last one that I uploaded was the Psylocke and Thanos 2 pack from the Gamerverse. Since then, I picked up the new Studio Series Megatron. I actually recorded B-roll for that, but I just never got around to recording the full review. So I got that. I picked up the Maximum Hulk on discount on Amazon here in Mexico. Um, I got them for like the equivalent of $50. Still a little too much. I would have preferred to pay somewhere around 40 to 45, but I don't think you'll ever see that at that price, a heavy discount. So I bit and I got it for the $50. Um, I got the Wolverine Silver Samurai. I almost say Silver Surfer. The Wolverine Silver Samurai 2 pack from the Gamer Pack. I got the Juggernaut. Um, I got the Captain America Venom from the Gamerverse. So I got all of those. Um, I got the new Turtles 6 pack from Playmates, which is like the origin style turtles and figures that have the added articulation. So I got that. Um, I got an old one the previously released Doctor Doom on the Fantastic Four retro card, so I got a Doctor Doom. I got another of the Keaton Batmans from the '89 Batmans to repaint into a blue and gray costume. I'm hoping to get my hands on the new returns Batman and the Catwoman mainly. I don't really need the Penguin or the Max Shrek or the Penguins. And I believe I don't know what else I got. Oh, I got the Spider-Man 77 from the TV show from the 70s. I mean, I've kept myself busy. I got the Cable and Emma Frost from the X-Men 97. I also did a custom on the Emma that I'll be posting soon, hopefully. Um, there's some minor details that I need to work out on that. And yeah, I've kept myself busy working on customs and all of that. But sometimes life throws stuff at you all that at the same time, and you can't really find the time to record these videos, even though these are short. But I still have to find time to edit it and upload it and all of that. So If you've been wondering what I've been doing, I've remained active in the collecting world, but I just haven't posted a lot of videos. Some If you've been subscribed to the channel long enough, you know that I sometimes go absent for about a month or so. It's because work and life get in the way of stuff, and sometimes you don't have, like I said, you don't have the time, or if you do have the time, you don't have the energy to pull off a video. Some people think all of this is pretty easy, but especially for me, who doesn't really do a lot of snazzy post production stuff, but still I still need to have time to record and edit and all of that. So yeah. So hopefully, as of right now, I'll be able to post more regularly. And But I thought I might as well uh, show these customs all at once, since they're all Batman and McFarlane. So I said, heck, I'll just feature them all in the same video. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one.